Okay, darlings, let's get started here today. I first of all just I want to get a pulse on how everybody's doing, and I'm trying to do this every week because, well, I want you to have a chance to be able to say, I'm not doing so great, or I'm doing awesome, or whatever it is, but to just even use this as an opportunity to check in and go, how the hell am I? And also for me to just kind of get where my community is so that I can kind of respond to you in a way that is effective and suits where you're at. So I want one or two words in the comments right now about where you're feeling right here, right now. It can be more than two words if you want, but I'm just looking for some general feelings. And it could be, again, it could be so peaceful, but also it could be frustrated. I want to, murder my partner, whatever it is. And just put it in the comments. I want to see what's happening. Hi, Christopher. Nice to see you. Okay, so I'd love to see how and is about to leave the building. How am I doing? I feel like I'm starting to find my new normal. I'm starting to settle a little bit, not working as hard as I have been in the last few weeks. So I had a nice full weekend off, so that was amazing. Still that little bit of unsettled nervous energy, but much more manageable these days. So remember, folks, this is not a listen shop. This is a workshop. So the more that I can get participation, the more that you're in this, the more that you're going to get out of it. So, all right. Welcome to our weekly live workshop. Today we're talking release tools. Release tools for anxiety, frustration, any heaviness that you feel might be getting in the way of you showing up strongly in your communities, in your movements, in your initiatives, in your families, in your organizations. I'm going to be taking you through some really powerful and tangible, like we're gonna get kind of physical today, tools to be able to use on the spot for processing all the shit that's coming up for you. Again, maybe specifically in these pandemic times, because there seems to be a lot more shit coming up, but also just as change makers, you inevitably are going to be facing a lot of stuff as you try to move the needle in this aching world. So again, whether you're feeling it now or this is just a sort of a precautionary, some precautionary tools to have on hand. These release techniques are going to help you to be able to be more of a light right now and in the future, and more of a sustainable light. And it's going to help you to be more solid, more creative, more constructive, and we need more of you out there being that way. So just going to go to the comments and take a look and see what's going on. She's really had a fever spike yesterday, oh honey. And she says she sees no one, obviously, so she's not infected, but it's still scary. So yeah, I'm glad you're feeling better. June, we need you. You're such a good healer out there, and we really need you to stay strong. Okay. Let me see. I want to hear how more people are doing. One or two words on where you're at right here and now. If you don't know who I am Kimberly Carroll, and I am a coach for folks that are trying to make a difference in the world. I help you with the inner shifts, the high performance, and the action plans to really empower you and your really important work. So speaking of which, I have an announcement. I have just done the finishing touches on my Power Tools for Changemakers. It's a 5-part video series, free, that I just really wanted to put out there right now. And it is a series that will be to help you through with all sorts of tools, from productivity tools to persuasion and bridge building tools. There'll be tools to deal with pain processing, kind of like what we're doing today. There will be tools around how to create more space and boundaries, and how to be more expansive, and also how to create a routine that's really going to take you and your mission up to the next level. So I'm just going to put the link for how you sign up to that into the comments right now. Let's see that. People in this chat here. Irene said, yes, need to hear about releasing. Irene needs a good dose of releasing right now. Oh, Glenn Dixon. Hello, you. Ken is here. Excellent. I'm so glad you're here, Ken. Excellent. Pam, you says it's been a roller coaster of emotions. She finds that the daily exercises are saving her. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. And that movement is medicine, and movement really is medicine. We're going to get really into the movement today. Okay, I want to keep hearing from you, so keep letting me know what's going on. Oh, sorry. I put the Power Tools for Changemakers link into the comments. Just go on over to the page and you'll just see my new website. I'm not really like telling anybody out there because you guys you can get. Oh, Judy Carroll says the new video series is fantastic. My proofreader, firsthand from her. So that's awesome. Okay. I really want to just start off today by getting a little bit more present and maybe just in a quick little check-in, exploring a couple of little release tools. Again, we won't get super physical right now, but I just want to get you warmed up. So I'm going to get you to close your eyes. All right. And I'm going to close my eyes too, because God knows with all my Facebook troubles today that I need this just as much as you do. So I want to start with a nice, big, beautiful, slow breath. And then just with the exhale, letting go. And now raising the arms above the head and reaching one arm up a little bit higher. And then the other, just going back and forth. For us to release if we're not in our bodies, if we're just stuck in our heads, we can't feel our bodies. So let's get in to the body a little bit. And then what I want you to do is I want you to see if you can gather up all of the shit in your body right now, all the thoughts, all the frenetic energy, everything. I want you to gather it up with your in-breath. And on the exhale, I want you to shake it out. Drop the arms and shake out the head, shake out the shoulders, shake out the torso, shake out the hips, shake out the belly, shake out the face. Come on, shake out the lips even. I swear, guys, if you haven't tried the lips flap, then you gotta try it. All right, so letting yourself stay with the eyes closed and settling. Let's move the lower jaw back and forth a few times. Oh, we tend to hold so much tension in that jaw. Just really letting it go. And then just noticing where in the body just hurting the most. And when I say hurting, that could be fatigue, that could be distraction, it could be anxiety, it could be just this general feeling of that you can't really pin down. Where is it? Is it in the upper stomach? Is it in the chest? Is it in the neck? Maybe it's between the shoulders. Maybe it's right in the middle of the brows. And wherever that is right now, let's bring the breath to bring our attention to it. And I want you to breathe right into that place. And that feels counterintuitive. We often run from pain, but pain will never go away if we run from it. The only way through pain is through it. So breathing into this place. And now what I'd like for you to just try is breathe right into that searing sensation, whatever it is. And then with the exhale, just letting it go. Just seeing if you can relax, soften, breathing into that sensation, and then feeling like with the out-breath, you are almost letting it release. You're almost like a mist that's leaving your mouth or your nose as you exhale. Breathing into toxic, tough stuff, and then with the exhale, letting it release from the body. Just trying it. And I know the thoughts are going to want to hijack you. You've got so much to do. There's a to-do list. What's going on? Wonder what's on Netflix. But this is important stuff. Just a few seconds throughout your day of checking in, breathing into it, consciously releasing it can just clear so much space, can really bring you into the here and now. So breathing into that searing place, and then softening, letting go. And just while we're here in a place of a little bit of stillness, I just want you to get a little bit tender. And then go inward. And I want you to just ask yourself, how are you, sweetie? How are you, buddy? Just with real tenderness, real curiosity, how are you? And then I want you to just feel what comes up in response to that, the feelings in your body. And just to stay really present with it, I want you to name each feeling, just silently, but name it. Even just naming a painful feeling can help to release it on some level, can just help to air it out. And of course, it's not all, I'm sure not all painful stuff. Name the good stuff. Name the awesome things that you're feeling. And now let's just take one more little piece in this. I want you to feel as if you're spreading your arms out now and falling backwards into yourself. Okay, so if this was sort of the surface level, the waves of the ocean, feeling yourself drop down into deeper places in yourself, actually some of the deepest places within yourself, I'd like you to let yourself fall down into the sort of well of that deepest knowing you have. That place within you that just knows it's connected to this nature, this everything. Letting yourself fall back into that. With each breath out, letting go into that deeper and deeper and deeper. And in that place of knowing, there might be a little voice or maybe a loud roaring voice that has something it needs you to know, has a little message for you. That message may come in the form of words, it might be an image, it might just be a feeling. Or whatever it is, just be in it for a minute. Just breathe into it. No matter what it is, sort of climb inside of it and just be in it for a minute. Kind of let it move through your body, let it wash over you. And then let's take one more big cleansing breath and let go with a big sigh out. And again, if there's anything else that you want to shake out, shake it out. And when you're ready, coming back to eyes open. That was good. I needed that. For those of you that just joined, I had a little bit of Facebook catastrophe starting off here today. Damn Facebook and their new face. Okay, I'll have it all next week. So happy to have y'all on our releasing tools workshop today. Let's just go on over the chat and just see. I love all the people that have joined here. I love y'all. Hey Joel. So I just on LinkedIn the other day and was just wondering how you were. Hi Joel there. Okay. So I want to know, we checked in at the end, and I hope you were checking in with me because, again, this is a workshop, not a listen shop. I want to find out what in that first level and then the second level, what happened? What came up for you? Put it in the comments. At first I asked you to ask yourself, how are you, buddy? How are you, sweetie? That sort of tenderness. Bring to yourself in the midst of this. As change makers, we especially need to find that regular check-in and tenderness for ourselves. When we're trying to support so many other people and beings, we need to be a safe landing for ourselves. We need to be this loving harbor for ourselves. Okay, so this is just has revolutionized things for me and for so many of my coachees. So in the comments, when you asked yourself, how are you? What came up? I'd love to hear. And also when you went down into that deeper place, kind of that place, that ever residing place of knowing inside of you that I think is in all of you. What came up there? Was there any kind of message, any kind of guidance, any kind of feeling that was anything for you to know right now? So Linda said, my shoulders are now lower. Good, mine too. Glenn, anxious. Yeah, so many of us are have this level of anxiety over everything now. Again, even though we're well fed, even if we have lost our job, even, there's just, the whole world is reeling right now. It makes a lot of sense that there's just, we are, even though we're isolated from people, we're feeling the world right now. And so it's not surprising that there's just this sort of level of unnervedness around. Is that a word? Unnervedness. Carol says, I'm eating like crazy. Yeah. They were talking, I was reading the other day about the pandemic 15, 15 pounds extra that everybody's going to have coming out of this. I hope not. I think people are going to sort of slowly start moving out of that place and into a place of a little bit more health. Let's hope. This is going to help. Okay. So if anybody else has something they want to add, I'd love to hear in the comments. But I want to start teaching you a few more tools. I mean, first of all, one of the things that really, the breath, okay? We practice just the simple act of breathing into any sort of discomfort, pain, again, whether that be fatigue, whether that be frustration, whether that be fear or sadness, and then just feeling the body relax and let go with the out breath. Okay, it's really simple, but we don't do it very often. We often hide from the pain. We run from it, okay? And the only way past pain is through it. I mean, I've tried every which way. I've tried over it, under, around. It doesn't work. You need to go into the pain, roll around, and let it go, okay? And the other little technique we just tried in that meditation was naming it, okay? Just by naming a feeling. I have a teacher, Tara Brock, that has a story about one of her students who had Alzheimer's, and he was a speaker, and he would often go and do talks, and as his Alzheimer's was getting worse and worse, he found himself on stage one day, and up there not knowing what he was supposed to be saying, really where he was, what was going on. And he luckily had been practicing mindfulness, and he went into just naming what he was feeling. So he was standing there on the stage and he was like, fuck, fuck, and confused and embarrassed and terrified. And as he started naming the feelings, he started back into his body and back into his being, and got oriented again, okay? So sometimes just speaking it out loud or even just noting the feelings can make a huge difference. So you are my change makers out there, my leaders, my helpers, and I know that a lot of you are trying to step up right now. But I just, the reason I'm here trying to support you every week in this way is because I need you to remember that you're human too. And it's painful trying to make a difference in the world. Never mind what the pandemic level of sort of pain and confusion and all the other shit that comes up that the pandemic brings. So if you are filled with a bunch of pain, even if you're not acknowledging it, that takes up all your bandwidth, okay? You lose your sense of generosity, you lose your sense of clear-headedness, you lose your creativity. You might be able to fake it for a little bit, but in the long term, it's not going to cut it, okay? You are going to eventually burn out. You are going to, some of that stuff, if you stuff it down for long enough, it becomes underlying anxiety, floating anxiety, and also it can create just some bad vibes. You could just be going through the world right now, putting off bad vibes, being really irritable or having a lot of judgment, just bringing kind of like a darkness. And I get it. I never want to chastise you. I want to say I understand, but that's not helping your movement. It's not helping your community. It's not cause. It's not helping your initiative, okay? And the alternative isn't to bury your head in the sand and not watch any news, although I really encourage putting some really deliberate parameters around your news consumption. And it's not to drop out and to not do anything. I mean, we, again, need your special talent, special compassion now more than ever. So that's not the way to do it. Instead, what we have to do is we have to find you some really effective, regular ways to deal with this very natural frustration, anxiety, hopelessness that comes from the double whammy of being both a change maker, somebody who's trying to, make the world a better place, and a pandemic going on. So I've worked with so many change makers on these sort of release tools, and it really does transform them and their work. So so let's start here. Our thoughts create our feelings, which create sensations in our body. And it's not enough to just kind of change your mind. I mean, that helps. But before we can change our mind, we almost have to change our body. We almost have to release some of that tension, release that buildup, release that stress that has become anchored in the body because of these thoughts. And so a lot of the work we're going to do today has a physical, tangible element. And by moving some of this stuff out, what I'm hoping it's going to do is it's going to help you proceed in a tough time with deliberateness. So we already did a couple of things, but the next thing I want to try this dump. Now, some of you are familiar with this. Yeah, I'm just going into the comments to see where we're at here. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. Irene's saying she's grateful for what she has, but she feels like she's like the scream right now. Ian said, I think that isolation and PTSD are not a good mix, and people are struggling with not having a lot of things to do, and the PTSD are ruminating thought cycle. Absolutely, Ian. Yeah, you're so work with a tool I call the mind dump. And this is one of the easier ones before I get you kind of going a little bit harder in your body. And this one is just something that you can daily, or it's something that you can do on the spot when you're just feeling like there's just so much that's built up in your body, there's so much emotion that you're feeling that you just need a release valve. So I want you to grab pen and paper. I should use paper, but you need a pen and paper. So just grab, it doesn't matter, it can be a scrap piece of paper. Just grab a pen and paper. I didn't even bring a pen and paper, so let me grab one. Because I need a good mind dump too. Okay, so the mind dump is just as it sounds. It's a way to get all of those thoughts and the feelings you are holding on to out of you and onto the piece of paper. And I know it sounds simple and it sounds like it shouldn't work, but it's a practice I use every day, and it really, really does help. These release practices in general are ones that I would be a mess without. So when I say go, you're going to put pen to paper, and again, I need you to try these. Okay, I need you to actually try these tools. Pen to paper, and I want you to just start writing what it is you're holding on to, what is going through your mind, what's weighing on you, and just start. If there's nothing obvious at first, just go, okay, let's just try this. I don't know what I'm doing. This is kind of bugging me. Oh wow, what do I feel in my body? I feel like a real anxiety in my gut. I haven't done this, but I should do this. See what comes up. The so-and-so is bugging me. This is not the time to be generous. Okay, I'm giving you permission right now to not be the light. I actually want you to go into some of the dark. I really want you to give yourself permission to be the most sort of petty, spoiled, angry, afraid being that you are, because that's part of us. Okay, you're magnificent and you're brave and you're beautiful, but you're also sad and you're angry and you're small. There's those aspects times, and we have to honor all of that, okay? We have to honor our magnificence and we have to honor our wretchedness. As one of my other favorite teachers, Pema Chodron, says, wretchedness, I think it is like magnificence, strengthens us, emboldens us, and wretchedness softens us. I'm paraphrasing. Forgive me, Pema, but something around that. So we can't deny this stuff. So grab your pen, and we're just gonna write for a couple of minutes. I want you to write until I say stop, okay? This is stream of consciousness. This is not journaling. I don't care if you spell it right. The grammar doesn't have to be right. It doesn't have to be full sentences. At one point, you can just write feelings down. What are the feelings? Anxious, fuck, whatever is coming out, okay? So 1, 2, 3, write. Now, what are your fears? What are your pains? And if good stuff comes in there, don't worry about it. Put it down. Like whatever's happening in your head, just put it on the piece of paper. But we want to especially welcome in what it is that we have been pushing away over the last few days. The doubts you have, the fears you have. And swear as much as you want. I just wrote a big fuck Facebook on this. The platform we're on. It can be all the things you're blaming yourself for, all the things you're feeling inadequate about, that you're feeling not good enough around. All the shoulds that you have rumbling around in your head. I should do this, I should be that. And if there's a piece in you that wants to answer back to something, if that sort of deeper knowing place wants to answer back, let it. Okay, let's do one more sentence. Get it out of you, whatever is in your head, in your body, get it out. Get it out. Okay. And if it was a particularly toxic one, if there's a lot of junk on it, a nice little, a nice little piece to add to that is let's rip it up, okay? Just rip it up. You don't need to be precious and keep this. This is stuff you can revisit it. Just rip it up and just sort of feel like with those rips, you're getting rid of some of that tension. Okay, nice. Like it. How did that feel? How did it feel? What came up in your mind dump? And if you feel permission to kind of be shitty, to just like have a space for it. The mind dump, doesn't always have to be about everything that's wrong. It is, my mind dump is sort of a stream of consciousness writing, and sometimes there's really lovely stuff that. And sometimes when I express my pain, something happens, like there's a part of me that comes up to comfort that, or to, bring an answer to that. So there's no, fast and hard rules around this, but it's a chance for you to get some of that stuff out of you and onto the piece of paper. And one of the other byproducts of doing a mind dump is sometimes when you have it on the piece of paper, it doesn't feel as big and scary anymore. Okay, it kind of takes the teeth out of the tiger. So it can be just a really lovely way to be able to again, I do it as a morning practice, but it can be on the spot practice. Okay, you're just finding like, wow, I'm vibrating, I need to do something, grab that piece of paper and just write everything that's happening and then rip it up. Okay. Thank you for everybody that's joining. So wonderful to see you all. We are doing release tools for changemakers, leaders and healers right now. And I'm going on to a tool now called let's do the toxic fling now. Well, you know what? One other little piece I want to say about a morning practice that can be really easy. I won't demonstrate, but a really easy thing is a lot of people take a morning shower. You can use the morning shower to almost think about the water as washing out, just breathing. You can't just release it. You got to, first of all, feel it. Okay, that's an important part. Otherwise, we're bypassing our feelings, okay? You're in the shower, you're feeling what it is that you're holding in your body, you're breathing into it, and then you can just imagine that the water is washing it off you, okay, through you, off of you, just with the exhales, letting the water just sort of take it away. And you can even watch it go down the drain. Just a little tip. Doesn't take a lot of effort. You don't have to do anything different. It's just something while you're already doing something you do regularly that you can insert that takes it to a whole nother level. Toxic fling. Okay, so those of you that have worked with me know this, but you don't do it enough. The toxic fling it gets a little bit more physical. It's a little bit more of a physical way of being able to move stuff out, but it still doesn't have to be big and involved. So let's give this a go. I'm going to demonstrate and then I'll tell you a bit more about it, explain it a little bit more afterwards. So once again, I was just going to say, if there's anybody that you feel would benefit from some of these tools, you can tag them in the comments. Even if they can't join us live, they'll be able to see the replay and do it then. Okay, so closing your eyes. Again, these tools don't work unless you try them. And locating where in your body you're feeling the most sensation, the most sort of uncomfortable sensation, okay? And when I say uncomfortable and I say pain, that can be anything from, again, anxiety. It can be anger. It can be grief. It can be paralysis. Okay, so noticing where in your body you're most holding stuff. You don't need to know why even. Just where is the strongest sensation in your body? It could be in the lower belly. It could be in the shoulders. It could be in the heart. It could be in the upper stomach. The upper stomach holds so much fear. That's often where mine is. Mine is either in the upper stomach or the heart. So I want you to bring your hands to that place now. Okay, just choose a place. Maybe every place in the body is feeling this, but the one that's feeling it the most, bring your hands to it. Okay? And first of all, just place your hands there strongly, firmly. Feel the warmth of your hands through your chest, or sorry, yeah, for me, it's my chest, wherever it is, through the skin. And then I want you to take your hands and I want you to grab for that sensation, almost like it's something physical, tangible. Okay, we're playing pretend, but this can be really powerful. This can be a really powerful physical cue to the brain. So I want you to dig in with your hands and I want you to get a hold of the sensation. And maybe it's this black, toxic, wound up cord, or maybe it's a big rock, or, figure out what it is in your body. But I want you to get a hold of it, okay? And I want you to grab it, and I want you to start pulling it out. And this has lived in you for a while, so it's stubborn. It wants to stay in there, so it's tight. You're going to have to pull. And the harder that you try and pull, the more this works, okay? And you're going to pull, and you're going to pull, and you're going to get it all out. You're going to get it all out. And then you're going to wind up, and you're going to throw it away as far as you can, or you're going to get it out of your body, whatever way you can. Get it out, get it out, get it out, get it out. And then just with your eyes closed, settling for a minute. And just feeling maybe a little bit of a release. Feeling maybe a little bit of space. It doesn't get rid of everything, but it creates a crack. Just enjoy being in that for a minute. And with every exhale, just letting go. All right, opening your eyes. I want to hear how that felt. Glenn says, I can't remember what I put on it. I ripped it up. Okay, the mind up. Excellent, Glenn. Yeah, I'd love to hear, as I have wild hair from all my shaking, I'd love to hear how that was for you when you pulled it out, when you threw it away. And if you were peeking, you would see that I get right into it, because the bigger the action, the more dramatic and physical the action is, the bigger sort of signal to the brain that it is time to disrupt this pattern. Okay, that we're disrupting this, we are letting go. Okay, big physical movement to change the way the brain is interpreting things. June said, if you draw figure eights over the area that just released it, it will help. Okay, June does much energy healing, so I love her tips. Thank you, June. Okay, so while we're talking about, while we started about physical tip, I'm not going to keep you long because I know we started late, but I don't want to keep you much past 2. But I want to do a couple more things with you. I really want to sort of make it clear why these physical tools are so important for releasing. Again, it's not enough to just change your mind. This stuff has taken up residence in your body, okay? So it's almost got to be this 2-prong approach, that while you're sort of trying to mitigate your thinking and improve your thinking and maybe having more appreciation, more understanding, more self-compassion, you also need to be clearing, the stuff that's getting in the way of connecting to those more expansive qualities, okay? If you are just so tight or so frenetic and so distracted, there is just no reaching you, okay? So this is always the first step. This is what you need to do to be able to sort of move into some of the more expansive practices. You need to shake the shit out. So one of the pieces I do that really helps to integrate this into my daily life is I do cathartic cardio. So I do it via running. I run regularly, but you can do this if you do the treadmill or stepper or even a brisk walk, weights, anything. But before you embark on your exercise, to be able to check in and figure out what it is that is the heaviest in you, what it is that's taking you the hostage the most, what is in your body the most that's not serving you. And then to really make an intention for that workout, at least the beginning of that workout, to go right into that feeling. So when I'm running, first of all, I use music to help amplify this. So I have a sort of dark release list use and that I bring up. So if it's, for example, I'm feeling rage, and I do feel rage sometimes, I put on the heavy metal or the punk or or some really heavy or whatever it is, and I just run into that feeling. I let it have its way. I use a physical way of expressing it, okay? And you can do that again with weights. You can do that with any kind of physical activity. You can get into it, okay? And you're doing it anyway, so we're adding sort of a wellness practice on top of what's already good for you. And you just keep on moving in that energy, letting the music amplify it and going in it and through it. And eventually you're going to find that it sort of starts to let go. It starts to dissipate. And at that point, you could even flip your music over to something that feels more expansive, okay? Once you've gotten some of that moved out, you've got more space, then you can invite in some of the light, okay? Some of the goodness, some of the more expansive aspects of yourself and the world. But you need to have that clear out first. Okay. One other tool that I want to show you that's one of my favorites, and it's a shakeout, sometimes known as the deliberate temper tantrum. but this is done with music, okay? And shaking has been a traditional medicine for releasing stagnant energies and built up for so long. It helps to liberate your energy, so to free up your body a little bit, increases circulation in your body, and so this can just be a powerful way of just moving your body to consciously release. So how this is, you're going to want to have some music for this. It can be really strong music. It can be, again, it doesn't just have to be anger or frenetic energy. Even if it's sadness or grief, just to be in that and shake into it, shake through it. So important, okay? And that can go for the cathartic cardio as well. It doesn't just have to be a really high energy. I often run in sadness or sorrow. I put on sorrowful music and I run into that energy. And it doesn't sound like it would work, but it does. So it's really good to have a song or two on sort of ready to go for something like this. And okay, we're gonna try it. Let's try it. I just want to see how over here. Okay, excellent. Guys, it's game time, okay? I can't see you. You can see me. I'm doing this when you can see me, but I can't see you. So you should just go wild with this. I'm going to pump the music up. And when I say go, I want you to we're going to tune into whatever you're feeling, and I want you to just let it go however you can. I want you to shake it out of your limbs. I want you to shake it out of your head. I want you to get it out of your stomach. I want you to get it out of your hips. I want you to make noise, okay? Okay, stomp it out. I want you to kick it out, punch it out, whatever you need to do, okay? So, everybody get up, and I'm going to stay sitting for just a second while I get okay? And closing your eyes. Let's do it with the eyes closed. I know you want to see me, but make a fool of myself, but you can watch this afterwards. Okay, closing your eyes and tuning in to what you're holding in your body right now. Okay, just really tuning in. Where is it in your body mostly? How is it feeling? How has it hijacked you? What is it getting in the way of? What is it getting in the way of? What wall has it put up between you and something meaningful to you? And you can't stay in this energy. It's not doing your health any good. It's not doing the world any good. So when the music starts, I want you to start moving in any way you can to let go of it. And again, vocalize if you can. On your mark, get set, and go! Come on! Whatever you need to do, stomp it out! Pull it out of your body! Fling it away! Get it out of your chest! Get it out of your stomach! Get it out of your hips. Get it out of your head. Move your body in a way that you've never moved it before. Stomp it out. Kick it out. Make some noise. And stop. Whew. If that didn't any beings in your household or around, then you weren't doing it right. All right. So, how did that feel? Are you out of breath? Write in the comments how that was for you. Let's see, Laura's here. So glad you're doing this on a deadline, but hope to join for all next week. Excellent. Oh, Pam, I'm sorry your connection sucks. Oh, look I'm so out of breath. That means I did it right. All right. Glenn says the birds are judging you. The birds are like, I wish I could be as loose and expressive as that dude. Okay, let's see what else people have to say. Okay, excellent. All right. So you could use the shakeout tool as more of a formal practice, like what we just did with music in your own space. But keep in mind, a quick shakeout can do wonders when you are in a moment where you're getting hijacked by this sort of discomfort, painful feelings, sensations. So, you're with your partner, or your kids, or whatever, and something is just picking at you so bad, and you're just like closed down or you're tight. Go to the bathroom, close the door, and just do a mini quiet. Or in your car, go out to your car, close the windows, and just scream it out, okay? Just scream it out. I'm sure there's probably a lot of people in the neighborhood doing the same thing right now. But some way, folks, you are human. No matter how beautiful and amazing and kind you are, which I know so many of you are also going to have pain in this world, especially when you're trying to make a difference, especially when you're trying to create something good. Okay, so these have to be tools, not just during the pandemic, but in your back pocket always. All right, and speaking of tools, I mentioned this earlier. I've got hair in my mouth, but I have a 5-part series that I'm giving away for free right now called Power Tools for Change. In the comments, the link in the comments, if you want to go on over and sign up for it. Also, if there's somebody else that you think could benefit from it, feel free to send it around, and I take you through a 5-part series where we're going to do everything from bridge building tools and how to be more persuasive in your mission, how to create more space and boundaries that are going to keep you stronger and clearer in what you're trying to do. I do a whole segment on pain processing, so some of this plus more. We work on building a daily routine that's going to really ground you and empower you. And and we do productivity tools, okay? So ways that you can work smarter, not harder. So hop on over there, and you can also see my new website out there. Let me know what you think. So, all right, I think I gave you a good taste of everything. Again, we started late Facebook, but I wanted to motor through everything. I'm here every Thursday at 1 p.m. folks. Next week I will have this tech sorted out with the new Facebook Live producer, and I will be starting on time. Sorry about that. And if you want to know when the next one is, click the small downward facing arrow in the top right hand corner of videos and choose turn on notifications, and you'll get a little tap when I go live. Okay, and I would really love to hear if there is a particular topic you want me to cover next week. So if there's something that you would love to hear about, put it in the comments, and I will see if I can work into next week's workshop. All right, Glenn, you're very welcome, darling. Yeah, you needed a shake. I wish you back, content. You know how much I love hugging and I miss hugging. So have a wonderful day. Treat yourself well with understanding. Nurture yourself. Create space for yourself to express what you need to, because we need your world. Okay, take care, folks. Bye-bye.